AI agents today can reason through complex problems, hold memory across long conversations, and even learn from their own mistakes. They can write code, plan multi-step workflows, and make decisions that would take a human hours to think through. But here is the thing most people do not talk about. When you actually point one of these agents at a real website, a live dashboard, a dynamic search result, or anything that exists on the actual internet, most of them fall apart. Not because they're not smart enough, but because they have no reliable way to touch the web without breaking. That gap between how capable these agents are in theory and how fragile they are in practice on real websites is exactly what Browser Use Harness was built to close. And what makes this story worth telling right now is not just what the harness does, is who is using it. Hermes, one of the most starred AI agent projects on the internet with over 135,000 stars, is built around it. OpenClaw, a massive open source agent platform with a community of hundreds of thousands, has made it a core integration. And Claude Code, Anthropic's own terminal native coding agent, has one of the deepest integrations of all. 3 completely different agents, built by different teams for different purposes, all converging on the same thin layer of infrastructure. That is not a coincidence. That is a signal. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this harness has become the missing connector that every serious AI agent now needs, what it actually is under the hood, and why it unlocks something different and genuinely powerful in each of these 3 agents specifically. Before we go any further, if you're into AI agents, automation, and the real infrastructure that makes all of it work in practice rather than just in demos, this channel is exactly where you want to be. Go ahead and hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this kind of deep dive content reach more people who actually care about this stuff. Subscribe so you do not miss the follow-up videos on each of these agents individually, because there's a lot more to unpack. And if you know someone building with AI agents, or just someone who keeps asking why their scraper keeps breaking, share this video with them. Now let's get into it. Before Browser Use Harness existed, automating anything on the web meant fighting the web itself. The old approach was tools like Selenium and XPath selectors, where you would write instructions telling the agent to find a specific button at a specific location on a specific page. And it worked, right up until the website updated its layout. Then your entire automation broke. Not because your logic was wrong, but because the selector that pointed to a button on Tuesday was pointing at nothing on Wednesday. Browser work is messy, and the old approach treated it as a static recipe instead of something that should be repaired during execution. That was the fundamental flaw. The next generation of solutions tried to fix this with vision. Take a screenshot, send it to the model, let the model figure out what is on the page, decide what to click, take another screenshot, repeat. And yes, that works sometimes, but it is slow, it is expensive, and on any page with dynamic elements or anti-bot protection, it falls apart fast. Anti-bot detection sees through wrappers, and every abstraction layer is another fingerprint. Vision-based loops were also burning through tokens at a rate that made serious production use basically unaffordable for most teams. What the whole space was missing was something in between. Not a rigid scraper that breaks on every layout change, and not an expensive vision loop that is slow by design. What agents actually needed was a reliable, semantic, self-healing bridge between the intelligence of a large language model and the real, live, messy internet. Something that could let the agent reason about a page as structured information, recover when things went wrong, and do all of this without relying on brittle selectors or costly screenshot cycles. That missing piece is exactly what Browser Use Harness was built to be. The story of Browser Use starts not in a boardroom or a product roadmap, but in a university weekend. The project began as an experiment by Magnus Muller and Gregor Zurich, 2 researchers connected to ETH Zurich, who built a working prototype in just 4 days and launched it on Hacker News. The response was immediate. Developers who had been fighting the exact problem we just described recognized what they were looking at, and the stars started pouring in. The Browser Use team created Browser Harness, and it hit over 4,000 GitHub stars within just 4 days of its April 2026 launch. The original Browser Use repo had already grown to tens of thousands of stars before that, establishing the team as serious players in the agent infrastructure space. The project attracted Y Combinator backing in the W25 batch, raised a $17 million seed round, and launched an official cloud offering with stealth browser infrastructure built in. What started as a 4-day prototype had become real infrastructure. The project describes itself as an open source, thin, self-healing harness that gives agents the ability to complete any task on the web, with anti-detect capabilities, captcha solving, and proxies across 195 plus countries. The evolution from weekend experiment to funded infrastructure company with dedicated integration documentation from major agents including Hermes, OpenClaw, and Claude Code is one of the cleaner origin stories in the entire AI agent ecosystem right now. So what actually is this thing under the hood? Browser Harness is the simplest possible connection between an AI agent and a real browser, built directly on the Chrome DevTools protocol, giving the model complete freedom to complete any browser task without predefined wrappers. The entire project is just 4 files, totaling roughly 600 lines of code. That is not a typo. The most capable browser agent layer available right now is smaller than most configuration files in a standard project. Here is what it actually does. A browser harness is a thin layer between a large language model and a real browser. The model sees the page, decides on the next action, whether that is clicking, typing, scrolling, or navigating, and the harness carries that action out through the Chrome DevTools protocol. When the page changes, the model sees the new state and decides again. No fixed selectors, no pre-written recipes, just the agent, the harness, and a live browser in a continuous loop. The part that changes everything, though, is the self-healing capability. When a helper function is missing, the agent does not fail. It reads the helper's file, writes the missing function using raw Chrome DevTools protocol, and continues. The harness literally heals itself during execution. Think about what that means in practice. The agent is mid-task and hits something unexpected. Instead of throwing an error and stopping, it writes new code, patches its own tool set, and keeps going. That is a fundamentally different relationship between an agent and its tools than anything that came before it. Unlike Playwright or Puppeteer, Browser Harness does not launch its own browser. It attaches to your existing Chrome instance via the Chrome DevTools protocol, which means every site where you are already logged in is immediately accessible to the agent. That persistent session model changes the economics of browser automation entirely. You are not spinning up fresh, headless sessions and solving captchas from scratch every single time. You are working with a browser that already has your context, your cookies, and your login state intact. The mental model that makes this click is simple. The LLM is the brain. The browser use harness is a set of editable hands and eyes that the brain can actually modify on the fly. And the internet is the real world those hands and eyes get to reach into. The closer an agent gets to the browser surface, the less context it loses while clicking, reading, switching tabs, handling dialogues, and recovering from page changes. There is one honest limitation worth noting. The harness is Chromium-based only. If your workflow needs Firefox or Safari specifically, this is not your tool. For the vast majority of real-world agent tasks, though, that constraint simply does not matter. Now we get to the part that actually proves the thesis. 3 very different agents, built by different teams for entirely different purposes, have all arrived at the same conclusion. Browser use harness is the layer they need. And the reason it unlocks something different in each of them tells you everything about why this infrastructure is becoming standard. Hermes is described as the only agent with a built-in learning loop. It creates skills from experience, improves them during use, nudges itself to persist knowledge, searches its own past conversations, and builds a deepening model of who you are across sessions. That is a genuinely different architecture from any other open source agent right now. In just 7 weeks, the News Research Hermes agent repository went from 0 to nearly 96,000 GitHub stars, the fastest star velocity of any agent framework in 2026. But here's the thing about a learning loop. Its output is only as good as its input. If the agent is trying to learn from web research tasks, but failing half the time because of bot detection, login walls, or broken page interactions, what it learns from those failures is messy and unreliable. On April 9th, 2026, BrowserUse officially partnered with Hermes Agent to become the default cloud browser entry point. And this is described as a structural integration that changes what Hermes can attempt out of the box. Adding BrowserUse means those tools now run on cloud browsers with anti-detect profiles, residential proxies in over 195 countries, and stealth browsing. There are 2 ways to set it up. Configure BrowserUse as the cloud browser backend, or install the BrowserUse CLI and let Hermes drive it directly. What this unlocks for Hermes specifically is the reliability that the learning loop needs to compound properly. The combination of web search, browser automation, persistent memory, and a learning loop makes Hermes a genuinely powerful research assistant. Ask it to track a topic over weeks, and it builds progressively deeper skill documents about that domain. Now those skill documents are being built from successful runs rather than failed ones. That is the difference between a learning loop that drifts and one that actually sharpens. Picture Hermes monitoring a competitor pricing page, a news source, or a live data feed across weeks. Before the harness, every site change was a potential breakpoint that produced corrupt skill data. With it, the agent builds long-running monitoring skills that survive layout changes because the harness self-heals when something shifts. Hermes stops being just great at remembering and improving and starts being great at acting reliably on the live web, which is where the real value compounds. By early 2026, OpenClaw had become a phenomenon. In January, its GitHub star count crossed 100,000 as developer interest surged, with community dashboards showing more than 2 million visitors in a single week. By March, OpenClaw had topped 250,000 stars, overtaking React to become the most starred software project on GitHub in just 60 days. Created by Peter Steinberger, OpenClaw is described as an AI-based virtual assistant, serving as an agentic interface for autonomous workflows across supported services. OpenClaw bots run locally and integrate with external large language models. Functionality is accessed via a chatbot within messaging services like Signal, Telegram, Discord, or WhatsApp, and configuration data is stored locally for persistent and adaptive behavior across sessions. With over 100 built-in skills, OpenClaw connects AI models directly to apps, browsers, and system tools. That breadth is the whole point of OpenClaw, and it is also exactly where the problem shows up. When you have hundreds of community-built skills and thousands of users running them across dozens of platforms, the gap between a skill that works in a demo and a skill that works reliably in production is enormous. Login walls, dynamic content, capture walls, rate limiting, session expiry, you name it. The browser harness fills the role of a real browser. You use it when the agent needs to interact. Log in, click through a wizard, fill a form, download a file, or work with a site that scrapers simply cannot reach. OpenClaw exposes a browser relay that lets the agent reach a browser running outside the container, either on your own machine or on a dedicated sidecar. The browser use harness plugs into the same relay over the Chrome DevTools protocol, so no special networking work is required. What this means for OpenClaw in practice is that every browser-related skill in its entire ecosystem gets upgraded to production grade. Persistent sessions mean the agent can stay logged in across tasks. Stealth infrastructure means real sites stop blocking it. And because the harness self-heals, community skills that used to break silently when a site updated its layout now recover on their own. OpenClaw agents can run persistent, stateful web tasks in the background while users are completely offline. That is not a feature. That is a different category of automation entirely. Claude Code serves as the agentic harness around Claude, providing the tools, context management, and execution environment that turn a language model into a capable coding agent. It is terminal native, it is built for developers, and it is exceptionally good at reading code bases, writing code, running tests, and orchestrating multi-step engineering tasks. But coding agents that can also reliably control browsers in the same workflow are a different beast entirely. Claude Code can provision its own browser use API key autonomously, with no human interaction needed. The free tier includes unlimited browser hours, free proxies across 195 plus countries, persistent browser profiles, captcha solving, and stealth browsing at zero cost. That one prompt setup removes the entire friction of getting Claude Code talking to a real browser. It just handles it. But the deepest integration is what Browser Use calls the Browser Use Box, or BUX. The architecture connects Telegram through a bot, which routes to Claude running with browser harness over a cloud browser, with agent state living persistently on disk so that reboots preserve your cookies, skills, and chat history. If you do not want to run your own server, the Browser Use Cloud provisions a box in roughly 60 seconds. Same software, zero setup, via a one-command Claude Code skill. What makes the Claude Code integration distinctly powerful compared to the other two agents is that Claude can literally rewrite parts of the harness itself. Browser Harness makes a practical promise that many teams care about right now. If the helper a workflow needs does not exist yet, the agent can write it while it is working. For Claude Code, which is already built around writing, reading, and modifying code as its core capability, this turns the browser into something more than a tool. It becomes a live execution environment that the agent can extend mid-task. Need a new extraction pattern for a specific site? Claude writes it. Need a custom JS payload to handle a tricky login flow? Claude writes that too, right inside the harness, without stopping workflow. The Browser Use Box is described as your 24/7 Claude agent, with Claude Code and Browser Harness in a remote box that you can drive from Telegram, the web, or SSH, and use to extract, automate, test, and monitor in natural language. The result is an agent that combines Claude's code editing strength with real semantic browser control and can handle complete end-to-end pipelines, from research to extraction to code to automation, all in a single continuous session. Take a step back and look at what is actually happening here. In 2026, the AI agent harness category has become infrastructure, not optional tooling. Gartner projects that 40% of enterprise applications will include task-specific AI agents by the end of 2026. And the question that is driving all of that growth is no longer whether agents can reason. It is whether agents can act reliably in the real world, on real systems, on real websites, without constant human intervention. If 2025 was the year AI agents proved they could write code, 2026 is the year we learned that the agent is not the hard part. The harness is. In early 2026, The frameworks wrapping the models have become as important, if not more important, than the models themselves. Browser use harness is one of the clearest examples of that shift. It is not competing with the models. It is the layer that makes the models actually useful in the one place where most real-world tasks still happen, inside a browser. Three things converge to make browser agents viable right now. Large language models got good enough at reasoning about web pages, with models like GPT 5.5, Claude 4.7, and Gemini 3.1 Pro now able to accurately interpret page structure and plan multi-step actions. Infrastructure matured to support it, and the economics shifted to make it practical at scale. Browser agents are no longer experimental. They are becoming core infrastructure. There are honest trade-offs worth naming. Complex self-healing tasks do consume more tokens, and on pages that are deeply dynamic, those costs can add up. The security surface is real too. An agent with persistent browser access and the ability to modify its own tooling needs careful permission controls and thoughtful deployment. And as noted earlier, the harness is Chromium-based only, which is a constraint that matters for some workflows. These are not reasons to avoid it. They are reasons to understand it before deploying it at scale. So here's where we land. Browser use harness is not just a browser automation tool. It is the missing reliable connector between what AI agents are capable of thinking and what they are actually able to do in the real world. For Hermes, it feeds the learning loop with reliable, high-quality data so that self-improvement is built on successful runs rather than failed ones. For OpenClaw, it takes the entire breadth of a community-powered skill ecosystem and makes it production-grade at scale. And for Claude Code, it turns a powerful coding agent into a full-stack autonomous system that can research, extract, write, and deploy, all within a single persistent session. 3 different agents, 3 different architectures, 3 different strengths, all pointing at the same thin layer of infrastructure. That convergence is the signal. And we are only at the beginning of understanding what it means for agents to have a reliable pair of hands and eyes on the internet. If this video gave you a clearer picture of where AI agent infrastructure is actually heading, the best thing you can do right now is hit the like button. It takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps this content reach the people who need to see it. Share it with anyone in your world who is building with agents or just trying to understand why the space is moving so fast right now. Drop a comment below and let us know which of the 3 agents you found most interesting or what you think the next big layer of agent infrastructure is going to be. We read every single one. And if you're not subscribed yet, now is the time so you never miss a video when it drops. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. It genuinely means everything. See you in the next one.